Savanna Leigh. I am based in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm a singer-songwriter. I moved here like 6 years ago because I'm originally from Tampa, Florida. And I just recently put out my fourth EP, Call Reminders of You, in August. And ever since then, I've just been playing shows and mainly just touring that project, kind of gearing up for whatever's gonna end up coming for 2025. Grew up around like music and acting and like anything, honestly, creatively inspired. Just a lot of my family members were artistic and creative. So yeah, it's just kind of always been a thing for me, but more so professional since I moved to Nashville.
Energy of always being around music. Uh, with this last album currently out, Remembers of You, I'm curious as to where the title kind of came from. That was like one of my big things. Always love accent.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So we wrote the song in LA in 2023. It was like during Hurricane Hilary. So I was like trapped in this apartment for a few days and wrote a bunch of songs with a co-writer, a friend of mine. And then the song that we wrote that day was called Reminders of You. And then we obviously wrote, the five other songs at different points, either throughout that week or earlier in the year. So when it came time to like pick a title track, it was more so thinking of a song that like out of the six songs, like what title could kind of apply the story of the project to everything. And I think I like intentionally I italicized the word you so that it could mean not just like you as in whatever, like an ex. It could also be like an old version of you or you as in like a family member, just to kind of touch on like a lot of different subjects that we're talking about throughout the EP rather than it just being generalized to like it being about, a breakup because there was so much more nuance to it, I believe, in this project and a lot more stories told than I've done in the past with other EPs that I've released. So that was kind of why we chose that title. We just thought it was a little bit more universal to match what the project kind of meant overall.
At any point where you're like, shit, I really just don't want to be writing right now. Everything just looks too crazy outside that I'm like, just want to like relax and do something different. Or was it just like full on lock and focus kind of mission?
Well, so I guess, the day we wrote specifically Reminders of You, I believe was like the hardest day. I had been in the apartment kind of for like 3 days at that point. And I kind of got stir crazy and I chose to continue to write even though I didn't want to. My co-writer was the main reason I wrote a song in general that day. I was like in the middle of watching SWAT on Netflix. I was like very into this moment. I was like 5 seasons in. I was like, I'd rather just do that because, we had a co-writer that was actually supposed to be coming in with us that day, and they canceled obviously due to the hurricane. So I was kind of like,
Yeah.
why don't we just chill? But Nick is his name, the guy that I wrote the song with, and he's always just been like very big on like let's just try to get something down, even if it doesn't work out. Like at least we tried. So I'm glad he pushed me into it that day. I think a little bit I was just feeling a little bit down emotionally too, and I felt like if I wrote a song, it would end up requiring a lot more out of me than normal, just because I was kind of going through a lot related to that song specifically in my personal life. So I just didn't really want to share. I was kind of like in that space of like I'd rather avoid my emotions today than like face all of it in front of someone that I am not super close to at that point yet. So there was definitely times throughout the week that I kind of like didn't want to write anymore, but I also knew I'd traveled in from Nashville. It was like a long flight, I didn't want to waste the trip, even if it was not nice weather.
I don't know. And honestly, this album is very beautiful to listen to. I've been really
Thank
enjoying
you.
it. Like I was telling you earlier, I was listening to it while waiting for the interview to start. On my personal favorite is Indigo, but I do like favorite parts of me. I'm curious what was like more of a, I would say the fun, I guess like the easiest song for you to write
Hmm.
that felt entertaining to you when writing it.
Probably favorite parts of me.
Yeah.
I loved writing Indigo, but it took us a minute to get it, and it's my favorite song too. Actually, Indigo is out of all of them. At least right now, I kind of switch between what my favorite is, but favorite parts of me was just kind of like seamless. It just felt like it came together really fast, and I got to meet a friend who I'm now good friends with. Her name's Abigail Osborne, but she and I met that day for the first time. So we wrote it the day we met, and Nick, who also wrote a lot of the project, was there, and the producer Jordan is like comes from like a jazz pianist background, so it was just fun to like have that kind of energy in the room and felt like yeah, that song just came together really fast. I think we wrote it in like less than 2 hours, so it just felt like exciting and definitely more upbeat than the other ones. And Happier Songs, I guess, was the other one that was pretty upbeat for the project. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would say that one for sure.
Ooh. So with that being said, now transitioning into performing those songs live, does it still have that same kind of feeling playing it live?
I think yeah, the it's interesting playing live right now just because a lot of the shows I'm doing are solo shows. It's just me playing my acoustic and I have like a synth that I bring and this like vocal harmonizer on the ground. So it's kind of a setup, but it's just very, very different when you get to play with a full band. The last time I got to do that was my EP show. So August 20th, the night that it came out, I got to sing all of it live and had like the full band experience, which is just so special. But yeah, I'm just at a stage right now where I'm kind of just going out every month with a new artist, and it just makes sense right now, especially as an independent artist, to just cut costs and play solo. But it's different for sure playing it live when it's me, but I do feel like I get a different experience out of it when I play acoustic, and I get to connect people in a different way, and it's a little bit more just like intimate, I guess, with the fans, and like get to actually yeah, like feel like you're storytelling versus just putting on a show, I guess, a little bit. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to play these songs live. And I have tried to like find ways to make it kind of feel upbeat, even if it's just acoustic, like finding different ways I can incorporate like a drum loop or something just to kind of give it more energy.
A little flavor to the mix. So, with that being said, are we doing more of an acoustic set into your tour with Ashley Kutcher?
I am, yeah, it's gonna be same setup, but I've added some fun things into like the synth and I've built some things out that'll change the set than more than anything I've done in the past when I've done solo shows. So I'm excited for to like test it out, I guess, on a real crowd because I've just been playing it in my room. So it'll be nice to hear it out like live.
So I am curious as to how you got onto Ashley Kutcher's set list or tour, I should say.
Yeah. Me and Ashley have been following each other for a long time. I think she started following me like 2021, 2022, whatever it was. I think that's when I released the Scientist cover, so it might have been 2022. Um, we've just been TikTok mutuals for a long time, and I'm a fan of hers. I love her music, and I think she's worked just like super hard. I've kind of been following her journey from like, independent artist to sign to a major, back down to being an independent artist again. I'm an independent artist, so I just like have a lot of respect for her. Yeah, so she just every time she would announce any kind of show or tour, I'd always be like, "Hey, like if you ever want anyone to open, like I'm here," because yeah, we mainly would communicate over TikTok just because we were like whatever friends on there. So she would get a lot more of like the messaging and I would see her stuff easier that way. Instagram, sometimes things get lost in our DMs and just is what it
Yeah.
is. But yeah, so finally after I don't know, a while, I had a break. And I was having like a November was pretty open for me. Thank God. Yeah, I just saw that she announced her Thanksgiving break tour and I just like think I had posted a cover of her, one of her songs off the album. And then she DM'd me when I was in Connecticut and was like, "Hey, you want to come open? Sounds like it would be a great fit." I was like, "Yeah." And then that was literally it. And then our management, of course, got in contact and everything from there just kind of got set up. But yeah, I was literally through DMs.
Ooh. It's probably like it sounds like it was the fastest like switch over being like, yeah, we're gonna have you on board here, no issue.
Yeah, it was very, very quick, especially when you're at like the stage I'm at where I really would love to just accept any opportunity that I can to be on the road. I think I'm really grateful anytime anything comes up for me, just because I know how hard it is to get on tours right now, especially without, like I said, a label contact or anything like that or a super like huge agent. I have a very like DIY team, so I try to like, yeah, really prioritize touring and say yes to anything I can for sure.
Yeah, pretty much the entire month of November just on the road. You're actually going to be making a stop in Michigan in a couple weeks. So that's going to be super fun to see you
Yeah,
perform. I'm at this part where I have a couple of these like conversation cards just so that fans can get to know you on a fun level. You
cool.
ready? So we'll start with this one, just because it's fitting. What is your favorite holiday tradition?
My favorite holiday tradition? Oh no. My roommate's sitting right here. Favorite holiday tradition? I don't even know. I used to have like a tradition in Florida where I would go, like, because Halloween's my favorite holiday actually. So, Busch Gardens is like a theme park down there. Not a lot of people know what it is unless you're down there, but they host like a Halloween, like horror kind of situation where they have like a bunch of haunted houses set up in the theme park, and it's just really fun. They have one at Universal too that's like a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
So that was one of my favorite traditions. Every year was going there. And then I guess like anytime it's Christmas or like around those, holidays, like I always love, like decorating specifically like stuff with my mom. And when I'm back in Florida for a couple weeks, which is normally always around this time in December and November. And then yeah, I don't know. I'm like a big movie person, so I always watch like holiday movies around this time of year. I just watched Coraline like a week ago. Just like rewatch anything that kind of fits the season that I'm in. But I guess those are my traditions, I would think.
Okay. Now, question is, are you a big like Hallmark Christmas movie person?
Hallmark, I'm not sure. I feel like Hallmark's hard. Sometimes I kind of like it can kind of give corny energy, which is like I
Oh
think the
yeah.
point probably, but yeah, I'm more of like I don't know, like an elf moment or like something that's just, yeah, I don't
It's a
know.
little bit
I'm trying
more
to think
out
of,
there.
yeah, or like I used to watch The Grinch a lot or just movies that are like almost fake, like very fake characters kind of energy.
Love that. Here, what is a food combination? What is a strange food combination that you love?
Oh no, these are funny. I'm picky. I'm a picky eater. So that's a good question, actually. Strange food combination. I don't even know. I feel like I have like fried corn all the time, which is people are like, what is that? But I like fried canned corn. So I'll have that. And
Okay.
then like chicken nuggets. And then maybe like grapes, which is so weird. That's a weird combination. I feel like
I
to
can
have
see that,
fruit.
yeah.
It's strange. I also like having fruit with coffee, which I think is normal, but I've had people like Snapchat message me and be like, why are you having fruit and coffee? Like that's weird. I don't know how I think it's normal. I'm like at a breakfast place, you order breakfast and then it always comes with a side of fruit and I don't know. To me, it's very like on par, but I guess that's it. I've never had a burger, so like that's how picky I am to explain. It's very confusing to talk about.
Ooh, that is very interesting and confusing
Yeah.
at the same time.
I know.
I
I just never got around to it.
I get the fruit and the coffee. I know there was like a big trend at one point of everybody trying a shot of espresso into orange juice.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that was like a big thing for a moment. Which I had. It's not too bad. I get it, but I wouldn't have it again. What would be the hardest word for you to never be able to say again?
Like, probably it's a filler word for me. It's terrible, but
Yeah.
I say it all the time. Or like guys. I say guys all the time. My managers are like on me for that. Like every single interview, it's like a filler where I'll be like, guys, like all the time. And the edits are crazy. We have to go in and edit it out because it's just like I'm like literally saying guys and I'm not even talking to anybody. That's what's even more embarrassing. I'm just saying to myself. It just sounds like I'm talking to myself. It's very, yeah, annoying to hear
I
it
just
back.
so far haven't heard that many phrases the word guys in there, so we're good.
Good, good.
What is something you wish you did more often?
Oh, um, I wish I read more. I read a lot as much as I can, but I think I have like I don't know, I used to like get really tired when I'd read, like I'd fall asleep, so I didn't like doing it as much. Now it's more of just like I've started like 4 or 5 books and I need to finish them. Like I've
Ooh,
kind of gotten like a quarter way or halfway through each of them, and I like them all for different reasons and at different times in my life I'll pull one out. So I just kind of want to like sit down and finish uh more of them. And also it's just like a way for me to get off my phone. I think when I like actually prioritize reading time, I like feel my brain is a lot happier with me than just sitting there and scrolling. So I'm working on that for sure.
ooh, I like that. And your album's out now. Are we expecting any new music videos also coming out any by chance?
I wouldn't say music videos necessarily yet. I think there'll definitely be a lot of content from tour. There will be a
Okay.
lot of content. I'm really hoping to do some mini vlog series that my videographer girl Brooke and I talked about literally this morning, just like really wanting to bring people into that world. It's like so fun for me to watch that kind of stuff as an artist. I love learning about what other artists are doing on tour, just like the kind of prep, it just gives you, I don't know, like time to prepare yourself. I mean, every experience is obviously different, but just gives you like more of a view into what's going on versus just thinking that it's just the performance and that's the end of the day. Like there's just so much else that goes on beforehand and after. So yeah, I would say that. I don't know. Music videos are always a thing. I definitely have a few out already for this project, but more so looking to like what's coming next, I guess, musically for 2025 is more so,
Okay.
I guess, what we're up to.
Ooh, all right. So with that being said, I get to ask you the probably the best last question I can ask. Where can we be able to find you?
Pretty much anywhere, I would hope. I feel like YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, it's all there. It's under Savanna Leigh, but it's Savannah with no H, guys. Please don't put the H on the end.
I
And
know I had to
then
double
Leigh,
check if I put that on there.
it's okay. It happens. It happens. Leigh is Leigh. That's my artist name. So yeah, everything should be pretty much under that. And then the EP is Reminders of You, but it's also on everything as well.